Risk management is very crucial to know because risk management is going to determine if you will live to trade another day, basically. That's how I look at it. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, which is one trade. And then if it goes well, you're celebrating. And then you put your eggs in one basket again on another trade, and then it doesn't go your way. Now your whole account is gone. You know what I mean? I've met a few people that would do that. That's basically gambling. You know what I mean? Um, so for me, I look at risk management as like it helps me to be in the market. It helps me to be involved in the market in the long run. You know. So basically, for risk management part, it goes back to your lot sizes. Lot sizes is basically the amount of money that you're willing to put into the market and trade with, and then the amount of lot size that you have, which is over here when you go to trade. So I believe everybody on here has Metatrader 4, right? Or Metatrader 5. Have you guys downloaded that?
Yep, we have it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So this is our tool to get involved into the market. You know what I mean? And our broker allows us to be able to be involved in the market as well. But this is the tool to place our trades to get in and out of the market. And then when you look over here by the 0.10, just right here, this is your lot size. So your lot size is what determines how much money you're risking in the market per pip. Pip is the points that the market moves in. Basically, when the market is going in an uptrend, every point that it goes up, what you have over here as your lot size, let's say for instance 0.10, that is $1 per pip. So $1 per point that the market moves in whatever direction that it's going, right? And so basically, if the market, when Mino says, for example, like over here, when Mino calls a trade, right? He says, buy GBP CHF now because he rejected the daily trend. He gives you the entry point, the entry price on where you get into the market, and then your stop loss, where you get out the market. TP1 and TP2, that's basically the take profit. So where, as soon as the market hits those levels, that's where it's going to take you out automatically. You know what I mean? So basically for that 0.10, $1 per pip, that means if you're risking 60 pips, minus 60 pips, you are risking $60, right? And then if you have a 1.00, you'll be risking 600 pips because now you're risking $10 per pip. And it all depends on your account. You wouldn't want to risk 1.00 if you only have a $100 account, right? Because you can't. If you have $1,000 account and you're risking 60 pips and you're risking $10 per pip, it doesn't make sense because now you're risking about 60% of your account, which is 600. And then once that trade doesn't go good, that's it. Like now you're down to 400. Now your psychology is all messed up. You're like, man, like now I gotta fund my account again, you know? So when it comes to risk management, it goes back to the template or like the trading plan that I believe Mino gave you guys, right? So like for every account that you have, there's a certain lot size that you want to use for you to be involved in the market for a very long time without because we go through winning streaks and then there's a time where we go through a losing streak. So it all determines how you're going to come out of that losing streak, you know what I mean? Because it's a winning and a losing game. It's a win and a lose game, but we try to at least win more than we lose. You know what I mean? Or when we do win, it out wins all our losses. And that goes back to our lot sizes that we use and the risk management. You know what I mean? Do you guys get that? Any questions?
Yo, Rika, what's up?
Yo.
I told you I was gonna ask you a lot of questions, right?
I know, Manu, bro. I know.
How you doing?
I'm blessed, brother. How are you?
Yeah, same thing, bro. Thank you, God. Yeah, I had my phone in my pocket while you were talking about the risk. So,
Right.
for the 0.1 lot size, we're risking. Is it 10 cents per pips that we're risking? If I'm correct.
You'll be risking $1 per pip.
For 0.1, $1 per pip.
Yeah, 0.1 is $1 per pip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the
So
one.
like right now,
No, go ahead. Hello?
sorry?
So it's the one. 0.1 is the dollar per pip.
Yeah, 0.1 is $1 per pip. So right now, if
Okay,
you're in
and so on. Okay.
GBP CHF,
Mhm.
if you're in GBP CHF, we're risking 60 pips, right? Minus 60 pips. So
Yeah.
you're gonna be risking $60 with a 0.10.
0.10. Okay.
You know what I
All
mean?
right.
But if you had
Yeah.
if you had a
Then it's
1.00, that would be $10 per pip,
$10
which
per pip.
is
Okay.
$600.
Okay. Let's see.
Could I touch
All
on
right.
that just one sec, Rika?
Yeah, for sure.
Just specifically for the signals, because the new people might notice that on a 60 pip stop loss, for example, you might hit your stop loss and you might lose $72 or something. That's because the signal that Mino sends is going to be his entry, and it's going to depend on when you take it and how fast you take it. So even if you take it within a minute after Mino sends it, there could be a slight fluctuation in the pips, and you're going to be risking a little bit more. So it might look a little bit odd to your math at first when you're first starting, but that would be why. You just took the entry, let's say 5 minutes later, but it should be the exact math Rika just told you.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point because like I was gonna touch on that as well because we get the questions of, hey, is it too late for me to join? Is it too late for me to get into the trade? And that just goes back to your entry price, right? Like Zach touched on when Mino sends a trade like GBP and he puts his entry price, right? So he's letting you know that if you enter at that same exact area, that same exact price, you will be risking 60 pips. Anything higher than that price, you're going to be risking more. Or anything lower than that price, you're going to be risking a lot less. So sometimes, depending on when you get into the market, you're probably going to be risking 50 pips while we're risking 60 because we got in at that entry price and you're getting lower. Or you got in late, so now you're risking about 80 pips because we're already up 20 pips. You know what I mean? So that's why we always say we are up 30 pips. So if you're okay with risking another 30 pips on top of the 60, which is now 90 pips, then you can go ahead and take the trade. We're risking $60, but you're going to be risking $90 if you're using a 0.10 lot size. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Bet.
Oh yeah, for me, most of the time when in the beginning when I wasn't understanding the whole thing,
Yeah.
if he gives me his entry price and I notice that my entry price is a bit lower than his entry price, for me it's a good entry.
Right.
That's how
exactly.
I was doing it. So because I was entering when the price was retracing, so at least I'm catching more pips if the market is going back to where his entry price was.
Right. So that's actually a good thing. So you got that down pack right there. You got that. Another thing is copying trades, right? Because like there's a lot of new people right here. Copying trades is very crucial because sometimes we're gonna use phrases like AC and GC and stuff like that, and you're gonna be like, oh, what is that? So it just goes back to that the more time you spent learning, you're gonna know what all the pairs are called, and like the short basically short for GBP CHF is GC, right? But then short for GBP CAD is also GC. So it all goes back to if we say GC, that means it's GBP CHF. But then if we're also in GBP CAD, we're not just gonna say GC. You know what I mean? Because they're both GC. So whenever, let's say I'm touching on the topic of copying trades right now. When Mino called buy GBP CHF, okay? As soon as you see the signal, you're gonna go to your Metatrader 4. And if you don't have it on your watch list, this is called a watch list over here. If you don't have it here, click on the top right plus sign, and then go in the search bar and just type up GBP CHF, and then click the green plus button right there, and then just go back, and it should be at the bottom. So every new pair that you add is going to be at the bottom. So then you click on trade, and then for market execution is buy now. So as he said, buy GBP CHF now, and then here's your price levels, right? Your stop loss and your take profit. So for your stop loss, erase that, and then you go back and look. So it says buy GBP now, and your stop loss, which is your SL, is 1.14090. And that's what you're going to type in, 1.14. Oh, there's somebody in the waiting room. Over here, since we have 2 new people that just joined right now. So basically what I'm going over is taking trades, copying trades. So when Mino calls a trade, you want to make sure that you are catching the trade at a good time, right? So over here, I'll be showing you how to take the signal. This is the Booming FX signal chat. As soon as Mino calls a trade, like buy GBP CHF now, that means it's a market execution. And what that means is that you are buying now into the market. GBP CHF, you go to GBP CHF, you click on, sorry, I'm going a little bit fast. You click on the pair. Okay, so you either click trade or chart, but since you're trading the pair right now, and this is market execution, right? So I'm gonna go over just market execution today, which is buying now into the market, so you can be involved immediately into the market. So then Mino said buy, so you buy by market, not sell by market, but you buy by market, which is right here, which is highlighted in blue. Buy by market, and he gives you 2 levels, which is stop loss and take profits, right? Your stop loss and take profits are your SL and your TP. So your first TP is at 300 pips, and your second TP is at 500 pips, right? So what you want to do is aim for the highest, or if you're okay holding it for just TP1, it's all up to you. So he gives you 2 options. If you want 300 pips, you take it. If you want 500 pips, you can hold it for longer. You know what I mean? So when you go back, now you want to input your credentials, right? So your credentials for your stop loss is 1.14090. And that'll be 1.14090 for your stop loss, SO. And then for your take profit, it is, let's go for the highest, which is TP2, which is 500 pips, 1.17768. 1.17768 as that. So now that I have my take profit and my stop loss, and I'm okay with risking $10 per pip, only because this is a demo account and it is $100,000. So unless you guys have $100,000, then you can probably use like $100 or $1,000 per pip. But let's say, for instance, realistically speaking, we're gonna be having a $500 to $1,000 account. So with the trading plan that Mino gave you, let's just say, for instance, you have a $1,000 account, you're gonna be using 0.10 per entry. So then, because he said buy now, you're gonna buy by market, which is right here, highlighted in blue. and then now you're involved in the market. And there we go. So now you're involved in the market. You have your stop loss, you have your take profit. Now you let the trade go. It's gonna go hit your TP and your take profit and your stop loss. So when you go and look over here, which is highlighted, this is your entry level right here. And then over here is your stop loss. So if the market decides to sell and hit your level over here, you're going to be risking $60 because you're using a 0.10, which is $1 per pip, and you're risking minus 60 pips. And then for your take profit, when we go over here to the weekly, it should show that your take profit is all the way up here. So if the market goes into our direction all the way up here, you're going to be cashing out about $500 if you're using a 0.10 lot size, right? And then for the other, for the first TP, it was going to be around like 300 pips, which was like probably going to be like around these zones over here. But so that's with the with how to get involved into the market. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Any questions for me? So when it comes to being involved in the market, do you guys think that I had a good explanation and you guys will be able to take some signals if we send a signal later on today or tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. I hope y'all are taking notes as well. Because taking notes is very crucial, very, very crucial for me. So like, and here's another thing. The last topic before we can go over everything else, I want to say, you know, what Zach touched on, your price, your entry price in the market and how much you're going to be risking, right? If Mino says the entry price is 1.14524 for GBP CHF, that's the entry level, the entry price for his entry on his phone. And then let's say you enter like 5 minutes later or something, you know what I mean? Your entry price is going to be different from his. As you can see, the market is always moving crazy. You see that? See that? One moment we're in blue, one moment we're back in drawdown. You know what I mean? Let's say now you enter right here, and then 2 seconds later, we're already up almost 1 pip or something. You know what I mean? So that's going to determine how much you're going to be risking. So it's always crucial for us, as soon as Mino calls a trade, take your phone out, hurry up, go place the trade, and let's go. You know what I mean? So like, I want to say, let's say for instance, here is my entry level, right? I enter right here, and then let's say Zach, for instance, comes in like 20 minutes later, and the market is down here, and he's like, yo, guys, can I still enter? Yeah, you can still enter because you're going to be risking a lot less than what I'll be risking. So Zach will be risking about 40 pips or 37 pips while I'm risking, about 60 pips, right? So that's actually good. He's getting a better entry because if we're buying and he's entering a bit lower, we want to buy low and sell high, right? So he's buying a bit lower than I am, so that means he's risking a lot less than I am, so which is pretty good. But if Zach came in 20 minutes later and the market is up here, and he's asking me, hey, you guys entered over here. Am I okay to still enter if the market is up here? You can enter if you want, but just know that I'm risking 60 and you're going to be risking 100 pips. So are you okay with risking $100 to make about $300? Or would you be much at peace if you were risking $60 to make about $300 or 500 plus? You know what I mean? Do you guys get that? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very crucial
when we get in a trade, at what time after Mino has called the trade. You know what I mean? Is there anything you guys want me to go over that I haven't, that you guys missed or you guys would like for me to go over?
I would like to, if anybody else wants to say anything, but me personally, I would like you to go over like getting in the signal. I don't mean like how to place a trade. I'm talking about like when you see it's in the key area, like the 0.6, like what time frame do you go into to be like, all right, now I'm gonna jump in. Do I see a bearish engulfing candle? Is that where you're like trying to jump in?
Okay, so basically for me, what I do, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, right? Since we're looking for buys in the market, as you can see, we are in a uptrend, right? As you can see with the market, we are in a uptrend. The market started from here. Sorry. The market started, created a low right there, created another low over here, and another low, broke that low over here, went up, and then came back to create another low in the market. And then we use the Fibonacci to look for our key levels on where to enter in the market. And then you use your Fibonacci from your previous low before the market started retracing to come and give you the new low in the market. So then that's where we come and we enter at the 61.8%. That's what you were asking, right? So you would come and enter around this zone right here, like in the middle right here. Let me move this box just to the 50% and the 61.8%. So you would enter the market. You would want to be involved in the market around this zone, which is the 50% and the 61.8%. So when the market comes to this level, just around here by the 50%, that'll be our first entry right here by the 50%. And then our second entry, it'll be at the 61.8% when the market is showing some great rejections, like as this wick right here. See, the market came, this candlestick opened up here, market went down, and then came and closed up here, which is a great rejection to the 61.8%. So we enter and we go for the buy.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
So for us to be involved into the market, probably like on another call or whatever, I can give you the credentials to the Fibonacci. So that way you can have the same levels as everybody else and you can be able to pinpoint in the market where we're getting in at and where we're getting out at. You know what I mean?
Yo, Rika.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mino, because when I was doing the course, Mino was telling me that we were gonna update the course, like like the TA, the technical analysis. Sorry. So I don't know if you already did that, but like the question that he just asked is actually in the course. I remember what Mino told me, like when I was studying, I was asking the same question to Mino. He was like, "Did you do the course?" If Mino was here, that's what he was gonna ask. Like,
Yeah,
did you study the course first?
Exactly.
And then if you say no, I didn't get there, say, okay, when you're done studying the course, then you can ask that question, something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm sure it's already in the course. Like you will have more details about what Rika is saying. You will have more details in the course because Mino has like 10 minutes about the support and resistance. He has another 10 minutes about the Fibonacci. Everything is in the course, but maybe like if you want more details now, then I'm sure Rika can help with that. But I'm sure it's all in the course.
Yeah, 1000%. I appreciate that, Manu, bro. Yeah, that's true. Mino has everything in the course. How to get involved into in the market and how to pinpoint where in the market you want to get into and and get out. So yeah, that's a good point, bro. Yeah, definitely it's very crucial to go through the courses that Mino put out there, because he takes his time and he really goes into more details than probably what I would be getting into. You know what I mean? And then I would just be here to give you a little bit of more information or a bit more understanding of what you had already learned through the course that Mino has provided, right? So yeah, so just
And I think even after the course, you will see. I swear you will still have questions about when is the best time to enter. Because even me, I finished the course, but still, I still ask like, yo, why we didn't get in here? But it was in the course. Like we're supposed to get in here. Then Mino is gonna be like, oh, zoom out, tech, and then you see,
right,
oh
yeah.
shit, the market is like this. That's why. And then you
Yeah.
think you got it, and then next week again, you're like, oh, this is the perfect one. Let's go, guys. Everything is. And then Mino is gonna be like, but he didn't break a major support level or a resistance level. But I'm just trying to say, like, it's all in the course, but even after the course, you're still gonna be asking like some questions.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, remember when I said that I love that you have questions, is because like you are you're putting in the work. You know that this is the video that I watched and I need a little bit more, in depth on this topic or this or that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you had already learned from the course, right? So now all you need is just like, okay, so this is what I learned from the course. Can you maybe explain to me why we're doing this instead of this or that? You know what I mean? Or like, okay, I wasn't understanding why we're getting in at the 61.8%, why we're not putting our stop loss at the 61.8%, just stuff like that. But yeah, no. I'm just looking at the chat here, actually. I see that Olivier said, can we stop at any time, even though this setup? Okay, so Olivier, the stop loss is basically for uh just whenever we're not in the market. Whenever you're not on your phone, maybe you're at work, you're doing something else, because we're not full-time day traders, right? We are people who are, working to get there. So we still have a regular life, and then we have our side hustle that we're trying to perfect, so that way we can eventually turn it into a full-time hustle. You know what I mean? So a stop loss only, it helps prevent you from losing way more money than you had anticipated. So like with the lot size that we've been talking about, 0.10 minus 60 pips, you want to only risk $60. But if you don't have your stop loss, you're going to be risking your whole account, right? Just in case the market like decides to go the other way, you're going to risk your whole account. Now you have to fund your account again because you just lost everything, right? But then when you have your stop loss, at any point of time that you want, you can always exit the trade at any time you want, even if it doesn't hit your stop loss. You know what I mean? Or your take profit. You can exit the trade at any point. The only reason why we have a stop loss and a take profit is so that we can go about our day, do everything we want to do, go to work, be with our family and stuff like that, and not have to worry about, oh my God, like if this trade doesn't go good, my whole account is blown. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why we used stop losses and take profits. Perfect. You got that, my guy.
Can you clarify which time frame we're gonna be entering on? Because I saw one video and I think it was the 4 hour. And then the video I watched yesterday, I think on YouTube, you mentioned the 1 hour.
So basically, from what I see, it all depends on where we see a good setup. So as you can see, GBP-CHF right now, I'm looking at the daily time frame. If you look over to the top left corner, right? D1, that means is the daily time frame, right? So it all depends on how well the market is presenting its structure. And structure is just basically what I highlighted, like your higher low with a higher high and another higher low over here to go and create a new higher high, right? But then when you look at the 4 hour, it's very hard to determine that, because like you have all these other moves and all these higher lows and lower highs inside of that daily, like 2 daily candles. So 2 daily candles, that's that's 8 4-hour candlesticks. You know what I mean? You're gonna be looking at a very smaller picture. But then if you go to the daily over here, you'll be able to see the full structure, which is a bit more cleaner, because we use the trend as like this right here. It's an uptrend. We are heading up, and then we use structure as well as another confluence, which are highlighted by the blue boxes. And then this last blue box is where we enter, right? And then another thing is our Fibonacci. So if all these things align, we'll take the trade during that time frame. Because if I was looking at the H4, I'll probably be looking at a smaller picture. Like, so we got a low over here, and then we got a high over here that came to create another low over here, and then I draw my Fibonacci from here to over here. It's just going to be so much like it's a lot of noise. You know what I mean? It's a lot of noise. But if I was looking at the daily, I can see perfect structure where I can draw my Fibonacci. But then when you look at a different pair, like maybe Euro USD, if you look at the daily time frame, it's like, okay, you cannot really pinpoint where your higher highs and your higher lows and your structure is. But then if I went down to the H4 and really zoomed out here, I'll be able to see where the market went. Like, you have structure that's down here, your higher, your high, your low, created a high over here, and then came and created another low. And then if you draw your Fibonacci from here to there, you can enter over here at the 61.8% around these zones. You get what I'm saying? But then if you looked at the daily time frame, this is all noise. You're like, you cannot really pinpoint that. So it all depends, in my opinion, it all depends on how good the time frame is showing structure.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. But let's see over here. Let me go
Rika, I have a question, please.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're just copying the trade, right? So you've given the signal, Mino is giving the signal. It doesn't matter which time frame you're looking at, right? Because you're just copying a signal.
Yes, it doesn't matter what time, sorry, it doesn't matter what time frame you're looking at or what time frame you're entering from if you're just taking a signal, because the signal was sent from whatever time frame that Mino had already looked at. You know what I mean? So let's say I was looking at H1, the 1 hour time frame, and Mino was looking at the day at the 4 hours and said, "Hey, let's wait for a nice retracement. Let's wait for a nice retracement for the market to come down here." And then he draws his Fibonacci from here to here, and then we wait to enter around these areas, right? But then if I'm looking at the 1 hour, I won't be able to really see that, I guess on the 1 hour here, I'll be able to, but like, let's say on the 15 minute, like I won't really be able to pinpoint that. So if I'm looking at the 15 minutes, and then Mino was looking at the 1 hour or the 4 hours, and then he called the signal based off of that, I can just take the signal without even being able. I can go right here on the 15 minute and just place my buy on here or my sell on there. You know what I mean? Or whatever Mino said to do. You get what I'm saying? And the TA, the technical analysis, or it doesn't matter what time frame you're entering it if you're taking a signal, like you said. Yeah, basically. And then to close a trade, as I'm doing so, you just swipe left, the check mark, and then you close the trade. Right there. And then you close the trade. Right now, we're currently in GBP CHF, and it looks like it's doing great. So if you guys are in that, tap in. You know, it's going great. It's flying right now. But yeah, any other questions?
Rika, show how to take partial as well, because sometimes they say take partial.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one, actually. That is a good one. At a certain point, let me go here. At a certain point in the market, I'm just gonna delete these so that way it's not too much clutter on here. So when you're in a trade, right, you don't want to leave everything at stake. You know, when you get to a certain level or a point, and you're like, let's say you're up about $100 in a trade, you can take partials. You can take about $80 and let the $20 run to go close out at like maybe $60 or another $80. So now instead of just risking everything and leaving everything on the table, you are actually taking partials, and I'm going to show you how to take some partials. So let's say you are involved in the market right now, and the market is like up $100 over here. Okay, and then you're like, okay, cool. Let me just take out about, you click and hold and click close, and then you just update your lot size, how much you want to close. So let's say you want to close about 80%, right? So that'll be 0.018. So you're going to be closing $2. You go ahead and close, and then you're going to leave 0.2 in there, 0.02. So everything else, you took your partials. It's right there in your daily log. It's right there. And then when you look at the trade, everything else that you left in there is still running. Does that make sense? So you click.
Do it again, please. Do it again, please.
Yeah. You click and hold, and you press close, and then you adjust your lot size. My previous lot size was 0.10, right? So if I want to close about 80%, that'll be 0.08, and then I'll leave 0.02 running, which is 2% or 20% running. So then I just go ahead and click close over here, but I had already closed that. It's not going to say close. But if, for instance, right now I have a 0.02, if I wanted to close half of it, I would do 0.01, right? And then click close. So now what's left is 0.01, and then 0.01 has been closed over here.
Rika,
Yep.
it's me again. So
Oh.
that's one way of doing it, but I had difficulties. I have an Android device and trying to close it that way, it didn't let me do it. So do you want to go on your screen again, please?
Okay. I can place another. I'll place another trade with a higher lot size, so that way I could be able to continue closing it. So now I'm using $10 per pip, right?
Okay.
So when I'm using $10 per pip, and I want to close out about half would be 0.50, right? Because if you put 0.50 twice, that'll be 1.00. So if I want to go ahead and close, I'll click and hold it, and I'll click close, and I'll adjust my lot size. So if I want to close half of it, it'll be 0.50. And then I'll click close with profit right there. So now what's left in here is 0.50. And then when I go to my history, what I closed was 0.50. So now what I have running is just half of my position that I had earlier.
Okay, do you want to just swipe right on that trade, please? You know how you did it before when you, yes. So the check mark.
The check mark?
Yeah, so click the check mark. So this is how with Android you can change that. If you go the first route that you show, it's not going to allow us to change the Well,
okay.
it didn't allow, yes, so we have to go through this route to take partial.
Okay.
Mhm.
So when you go that route, because you have an end rate, right? So you swipe, you click the check mark. You can update your um, your lot size. So if I wanted to close half of this, it'll be 2.5, right? I mean 0.25. So then I'll go ahead and just click close, and then I'll close with profit, which is right here. And then I have 0.25 running. Would that work on the end rate if you did it that way?
Yes, that's how it works for Android.
Okay, perfect. That's something that I just learned today, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
For sure. Is there anything else that you guys would want me to go over? Olivia, you said you want me to go over how to calculate the pips.
Yes, please.
Okay, so calculating pips, I'll go over. Let me go to my notes over here. So for let's say for instance, you have $100 account, right? Sorry, $100 account. What you want to use on that $100 account, you want to use a 0.01, right? Which is 10 cents, per pip, right? And then if you have a minus 60 pip count for your stop loss, you will be risking $6. If you had a $1,000 account, you would be using a 0.10 lot size. Minus 60 pips, that'll be $60. And then if you go over and you have a little bit of more money, let's say 10 grand, you will be, let's just say, okay, not 100K, but 10 grand, sorry. You will be risking about, you'll be risking about 0.100. That's $10 per pip, right? And then when you risk 60 pips, that'll equal to $600. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
if you have $1,000 or $500 or whatsoever, if you are using this one that I'm going to highlight right now, if you're using this right here, you have a $1,000 account with $1 per pip, and you're risking 60 pips. That's $60. So for this trade that Mino called GBPCHF, you're going to be risking 60 pips to make, and for TP2 that's 500 pips. So you're risking $60 to make $500. You know what I mean? But then if you had a $10,000 account, you'll be risking $600 to make $5,000. But if you had a $100 account, you would be risking $6 to make about $50, which is still pretty good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
And then over here, what if you have a $500 account? When you have a $500 account, let's say for $500, that'll be it'll hopefully Mino sent you your trading plan, but if I had a $500 account,
the most lot size I would use per entry, so per trade, I would use a 0.05, which is just half of 0.10, which is this one over here. So instead of risking $60, I'll be risking minus 60 pips. Minus 60 pips, that'll be $30. You know what I'm saying? You get that one?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So you'll be it's easier to use the tens, but so for a $500 account, you'll be risking 50 cents per pip. So if I had $1,000, I'll be risking $60. But if you had half of that, you'll be risking half of what I'm risking, which is $30. But then if I make $5,000 or $500, you're only going to be making $250, which is half of that. You know what I mean? So here it goes back to everything else too. So like, let's say I have a $500 account and you have a $5,000 account, but when we take the same trade at the same time, we're gonna have a different outcome because of the lot sizes that we're using. You know. Hey, yo, me here too.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else y'all wanted me to go over?
No, I'm good for now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I touched on basically risk management, and I said risk management is very crucial because it determines on if you're going to live to trade another day, and we all want to live to trade another day, right? And that goes back to your lot sizes and how much you're risking per trade, and then I also went over how to copy trades. You guys you're okay with copying trades from the signal chat to your MetaTrader 4? Or would you like for me to go over that again?
You can go over it one more time, please.
Yeah? Okay, bet. Let me just close out GBP CHF. Let me just close this out. Okay. So let's say Mino called out buy GBP CHF right now. And like I said earlier, that means it's a market execution. You're executing the trade right now. It's like you're basically pulling the trigger right now. So he gives you an entry price. That's his entry price. From his entry price and where his stop loss is, which is the SL. SL means how much you're willing to risk when you take that trade, right? You're risking 60 pips. And from the lot sizes that we had gone over, if you're risking 0.10, you're going to be risking 60 pips. You're going to be risking $60, right? So if you enter at that entry price, you're going to be risking $60. So you're going to go ahead and come over here and go to quotes. And let me just delete this just for anybody. I won't be able to delete that. Just for anybody that doesn't have that in their quotes right now, you click the plus button at the top right corner, and then you just search up GBP CHF. But now, in my case, I had already searched it up and it's there. I'm going to go back, click and hold, trade, and then I'm going to use my correct lot size that I need to be using. So let's say I have a $1,000 account. I'm going to be using a 0.10 account, and I'm risking 60 pips. So that'll be $60. So, and I'm okay with that, bet. So I'll take the trade, 0.10, and it's a market execution now. And you see at the top right here, it says market execution. You good. Stop loss, you put in your SL credentials, which is 1.14090. 1.14090 for your stop loss. And then for your take profit, it's your TP. So usually Mino has two TPs, which is your first take profit and your second take profit, right? Your first take profit is a little less than the second one. So it all depends on how long you're okay with holding your trade for. So for instance, I'm okay with going the full 500 pips. So I'm going to go with that, which is, I'll go ahead and delete that, 1.17768. 7768. And then because it's a market execution, I'm going to buy by market, and which is highlighted in blue right there. Buy by market. And then there you go. Now I'm part of the market. I'm part of the trade. You get what I'm saying? We good on that one?
Yes, thank you.
Bet. No problem. No problem. Yeah, family. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to touch over and go over with you all. And if you ever have any questions, if you ever have anything at all, any questions, just shoot me a DM and like just ask in the group. Everybody is always happy to help each other out because we're all in this journey together, right? But yeah, just it all also depends on you, on your free time. Are you watching your favorite show, or are you watching Mino teach? You know what I mean? Your journey all is gonna be different. You know, it all depends on how much work you're gonna be putting in. So, if you really want to get this, you're gonna be putting it. You're gonna put in like 100% of your time, 100% of your effort in it. You know what I mean? As for if you just want to take signals, you can just wait for Mino to send signals. But if you really want to understand why you're taking the trade, why you're getting in and why you're getting out, just put in the work. The blueprint is really there for us, and we just got to put in the work, to be honest. But I think Mino is going to host another call at 9 p.m. probably or something. So yeah, just make sure we all hop on there. But yeah, if you don't have any more questions, I'll be wrapping up. And yeah, hope you all have a blessed night and a great week.
I have one question. So now right now I'm dealing with Android. I don't know how to actually synchronize my Meta with my 8 caps because right now I don't know if you're doing like on Apple iPhone, but me I'm dealing with my Android. I don't know if you have a tip.
I'm not very familiar with Android, which is something that Zach, I know Zach is very familiar with that. Zach is also good. He's just like me as well. He knows what he's doing and he knows what he's talking about. So you could definitely shoot him a text or just text the group chat and they can help you with the Android part of it because I'm more of a iPhone person, you know.